Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to talk about this evening. Hit subscribe to this channel, to my super chat. I cannot do this without you, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have $20 million in venture capital funding like some people, so your super chat is greatly appreciated if you do enjoy these live streams. Why did Igor Danchenko get acquitted on all 4 counts? Why did Sussman get acquitted? Why isn't there justice? There's never any justice. Nothing's ever gonna happen. Ladies and gentlemen, Trump defeated Clinton in 2016. Take things into context. The entire American political establishment is designed, has been created, exists to stop somebody like Trump from becoming president. Somebody that wants to end never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts. Somebody that doesn't revere alliances. Somebody that doesn't worship intelligence agencies. Somebody like Trump who thinks for himself and who is willing to renegotiate trade deals. Who doesn't obsess over the climate and release 200 million barrels or so of strategic petroleum reserves. Somebody who moves the embassy to Jerusalem like Trump, negotiates the Doha Agreement, Abraham Accords, all of these things. The entire American political system is meant to stop a Donald Trump. Okay, he defeated Clinton in 2016 like I said he would. Mikey, hello. Eric, everybody here. Son of a World War II vet, hello. Quinn, everybody here. Kaiser, hello. Eddie, hello. Durham lost for a number of reasons, okay? And to my super chat again, thank you so very much. I can't do this without you. Okay, here's the deal, man. The way Mashed Potato Brain speaks. Durham lost because he did not understand that the Federal Bureau of Investigation did not care if they were lied to. Okay? That's the issue here. He also wasn't prosecuting. Durham did not go to trial. Jigsaw, hello. Durham did not go to trial to prove that Trump was set up and framed. Durham went to trial, 2 trials in a row, to prove that political operatives were lying to deceitful government bureaucrats. Again, he went to trial to prove that shady political operatives were lying to deceitful, duplicitous bureaucrats. Okay? You're not going to go ahead and get the conviction that you want if you're relying on bureaucrats who were in on setting up and framing Trump. Okay? You're not going to get that conviction. Okay? You're not going to get that conviction if that is how you're going to prosecute this. So, in order to get the conviction on lying to the FBI, you had to have agents saying, yes, on the witness stand, yes, they did lie. These agents did not say that. So I don't understand. Like, it's easy for me to say in hindsight because Durham was caught between a rock and a hard place. He was in an unwinnable situation, okay? He really was in an unwinnable situation. We have midterms, by the way, around the corner. We have impeachment that's going to take place, 100%. American Girl, hello. Mikey, hello. Kristen, hello. So, Eric, hello. So, impeachment is around the corner. Trump already defeated Clinton. You can't, like, when people say nothing's ever going to happen and Durham was a failure. He wasn't a failure. He did reveal, like, a great deal of information pertaining to setting up and framing Trump. The problem was he didn't take that to trial. He tried to, in a way, micromanage, or I should say, like, dissect. He tried to, it's almost like what he tried to do is there's a bank robbery, and then he tried to get the bank robbers on running a red light. Okay? He tried to get the bank robbers on running a red light. There's bigger fish to fry, exactly. And he needed agents to categorically state on the witness stand that Sussman or Danchenko lied to them, and that those lies altered how the Bureau and the FBI did business. He was never going to get that. So this was flawed from the very beginning. And hindsight is 2020. I thought at least one count. And Sussman has a text message that actually stated the lie, that he wasn't coming on behalf of of Hillary, and he wasn't being paid by anyone. And of course, the opposite was true. He was being paid by Clinton, and he went there because he was being paid by Clinton to spread fake and phony news about Trump. But the issue, ladies and gentlemen, is that Rome wasn't built in a day. So there's this belief that nothing's ever going to happen, and all the political power and influence lies with the Democratic Party. It's not going to, and it's not going to for the next 4 years. The House is going to be Trump Republican. It's going to be a Trump Republican House. Even if you got indictments of Danchenko and Sussman, convictions, that wasn't necessarily going to be a springboard to getting to Comey or Strzok or McCabe or Clapper or Brennan, all the people who did set up and frame Trump. I mean, the issue with Durham is that he was probably blocked, or they probably prevented him in a million different ways from truly investigating what took place. Okay, he should have found laws that were broken by top officials within the U.S. government. He didn't want to do that. He thought maybe let's go after the low-hanging fruit. And so, that's why it's very difficult to pin motivation or intent when it comes to bureaucrats, because bureaucrats can hide behind incompetence. They could hide behind their bureaucratic post. There's a lot of things that bureaucrats can do. Is if you are in a bureaucracy, you're in the government or you're in a corporation, and you don't like somebody that you're working alongside, well, there's probably numerous ways that you can try to kick them out of the office or business or government. And I think that we're definitely going to catch a break in a couple of weeks. So, you have, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of news coming out in the next couple of weeks. You have, this should be a moment where people are like, where it's like electric. Harley, hello. This should be a moment where everyone is psyched, and I understand. Myself too. I'm like kind of like not deflated, but like, oh my God, not again. It's obviously a failure, but in the long run, it's really not a failure. Okay, I know that he's going to write his Durham probe report, and the report is going to say that these people conspired against Trump. And that's going to be the basis for further investigations in the House, because they did conspire against Trump. If they did the same thing to if Democrats experienced 1/10 of what Trump experienced, okay, they would never stand for it. Yeah, but I mean, people should be psyched. We're going to win the House. Definitely the House. And it's going to be Trump Republicans, everybody. And you're going to get impeachment next year. The impeachment of Joe and mashed potato brains Joe is going to actually correlate to felonies. It's going to actually correlate to felonies. Bribery and graft are serious crimes. They're serious, serious crimes. So, you're not looking at, like, this is a complete sea change. It's a complete paradigm shift in American politics very soon. And that's only like November 8th, ladies and gentlemen, 3 weeks away. Yes, in 2016 2016. But only 3 weeks away, people. Ross, thank you. You have 3 weeks away from the House and almost certainly the Senate going Trump Republican. That is enormous. That is absolutely enormous, ladies and gentlemen. Impeachment will be enormous because they can't possibly look. You will have all of late night. You will have the Washington Post and the New York Times and MSNBC and CNN calling it a fake impeachment, how it's nonsense, it's a fake impeachment. They don't have, the Republicans don't have anything. It's partisan. Whenever Democrats, thank you, Mikey. Whenever Democrats engage in partisanship, it's always marketed as, objective, nonpartisan, just the way things ought to be. Whenever Republicans go after Democrats, it's completely partisan. Oh my God, how dare these people ever have a political viewpoint contrary to, the good, just, wonderful, moral Democrats. Oh my goodness. So you look, ladies and gentlemen, in here, it's like, this is a huge thing. This is a very, very, this is something that everyone should be, what is going on? Lord. Can you see the Real Clear Politics in the background? Okay, so this is what everyone should be paying attention to. Generic ballot, Republicans up 2.2 points. Now, when Democrats were up, they were only up because of the Mar-a-Lago raid, okay? That's really the only reason they were up. That's really the only reason they were up. You look, it was like August, the beginning of August is when, late July, early August, when it was all about, but see, this is bizarre too. The fact that you had Democrats up at all is just so bizarre, but that's a testament to every single late night talk show host, every single publication propping up the Democratic Party. You look, ladies and gentlemen, and Republicans are up 2.2 points. According to Rasmussen, they're up 7 points in the generic ballot. Okay? Trump defeats Biden. Okay? Trump defeats mashed potato brains Joe in the latest polls. Okay? And that's with every single possible advantage. Donald Trump edges out President Mashed Potato in poll here. So it's right there. And that's with every single publication on the planet after Trump. So you gotta ask yourself, how on earth can Donald Trump manage in polls? How on earth? How on earth can Donald Trump manage to actually defeat a president that's propped up with all of media, and all of media is against Trump? And so there's an undercurrent of support that it's like, you're going to have a red wave, and it will be a red wave, especially 3 weeks from now. Market's going to crash. The market's been going up, but it's only going up to go down. It's kind of like very counterintuitive and almost diabolical. It's going up and it's going to go down. So, and when it starts crashing, along with inflation, along with, you have people who are on the streets. Crime is rampant. You have these atrocities taking place in Los Angeles and other cities. Just random people are being attacked and assaulted, and it's unbelievable. I was just reading of this. It's just, I don't want to get into this. But if you're not safe even walking on the sidewalk anymore. You're never really safe, but now it's just, you always have to watch out, and especially in a big city, run by Democrats. It's complete pandemonium. It's complete and utter pandemonium. And everything, though, will change eventually. The country cannot go in this direction without, a complete, without political retribution, or at least a change in terms of politics. Democrats are not very good at governing. They're horrible at governing. They're very good at checking off boxes on a bucket list of what they want to accomplish. But yeah, Kerry Lake is going to win. Blake Masters was down big. Oz was down big. Oz is going to defeat Fetterman. Now I'm hoping Herschel Walker will defeat Warnock. I think he will. Ron Johnson, that's not toss-up in Wisconsin. Ron Johnson will win. Laxalt will win in Nevada. So, Timothy, hello. There's a lot of good news on the horizon, ladies and gentlemen. It's just people, the sweet spot in terms of my channel is Paul Bartlett, hello. The sweet spot in terms of my channel is, straight politics like this, like the Durham probe special counsel and the midterms. And so you're looking at any week now, I check every day, and it's a terrible tragedy, but the DA in New Mexico stated that very likely, possibly, let's just say, the DA stated that possibly, potentially, an actor named Alec Baldwin could be indicted. And that's going to be absolutely paradigm-changing news, because you will have a Hollywood celebrity who is a morally superior liberal Democrat facing consequences for an accidental tragedy. But like a person that runs over somebody because they've consumed too much alcohol, you can't just call every even if it's an accidental tragedy, if you were irresponsible, not having the armorer in the church with you. Paul Bartlett, my man in Australia, thank you so very much. Paul, thank you, sir. Paul, I hope all is well. Thank you for starting off the super chat. So Alec Baldwin, very likely, possibly, potentially, change it up, hello, will get, very likely might get indicted, according to the DA. You have midterms at the DA in New Mexico. You have midterms with definitely a Republican House that will impeach Joe, and almost certainly a Republican Senate. And people have had enough of inflation. The genie is out of the bottle. So that's going to be very difficult the economy is already in free fall. And Biden's passed all these the Inflation Reduction Act. Like, none of these things are going to actually grow the economy. So the Atlanta GDP now says the third quarter is going to be positive. I don't know how, though. I don't know how. That's going to be like a magic trick or something, how that happens. But you look, and Fetterman and Oz. This was seen, Oz closing in on Fetterman, Pennsylvania Senate race. I mean, this was seen as impossible not long ago. Whatever you think of Oz, he's still a better candidate than Fetterman. I mean, he's still a better candidate than Fetterman. Oz closing in on Fetterman. Fetterman still holds a very narrow lead. Why on earth in Pennsylvania would you vote for Fetterman? And why on earth would you vote for a Democrat anywhere? Do you like this economy? What is so extreme about having a good economy? And they they don't accept. It's like, well, you didn't accept either. You didn't accept either. Anthony, hello. Paul Bartlett, thank you. Dane, hello. I don't understand how anyone could vote for Fetterman or Warnock or Kelly in Arizona. I just don't get it. I mean, you already see the economy's tanking. What it is? Do you despise Trump so much that 25% of your retirement income and 8.5% of of real wages down? You'd rather just give 8.5% of your paycheck and 25% of your retirement income to the Democratic Party? Because that's what happened. Retirement accounts are down 25%. And real wages are down 8.5%. So, I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, I don't even know how Democrats are even competitive. Is it just because of disdain for Trump? I don't think so. Because this is the thing. They would do the same thing with any Republican. For a second, I was like, oh, Paul, thank you again, Paul Bartlett. For a second, I was like, maybe DeSantis is better just in terms of a politician. And I'm like, they would do the same thing to DeSantis. The press is vicious. They're not a free press. They are liberal Democrats who have the ability to publish stories that always revolve around the Democratic narrative when it comes to the Democratic Party's narrative when it comes to politics. And that's not hyperbole. Whenever they talk about Trump, they're like, Trump and he's believing these baseless claims. And whenever they talk about the Russia probe or Trump and the Kremlin, they're like, Trump has been accused of. There's no evidence of anything. There's no evidence of anything. And so you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where even like journalists now, journalism is not even it's not objective. It's if Trump makes a baseless claim, they react in absolute astonishment. If They're completely outraged. If Democrats make a baseless claim, it's actually reported as news. So they'll say, well, Trump accused of ties to the Kremlin, not the baseless allegations by government officials that Trump, because we already know from the Mueller probe he didn't. Exactly, that's right. The Eagles fans booed Joe Biden. I mean, like, here's the thing, like, we already see what's going on. We are going to have a party poll on November 8th. This is going to be a huge, huge party. We're going to have a very good time. And the lead up to November 8th, too. I mean, Republicans are going to get, the Trump Republicans, whether it's Oz or Blake Masters or Ron Johnson or Laxalt, they're all gonna gain momentum. Now, if let's just say they indict Trump before midterms, let's say there's a chance that they do indict Trump before, and then, believe me, they'll throw out that, well, we can't indict him to influence midterms. It's like, could you imagine, like, it would boost Democrats, but it would bolster Republicans beyond belief. Because then they'd say, okay, wait a second. Because it from a political perspective, now would be the time to try to indict Trump. It wouldn't be after Republicans have the House and Senate. The midterms, for sure, the House will go Republican. The question mark is the Senate. And we might not find out about the Senate until weeks after because of, all the wonderful democracy we have. So, as democracy trickles in, we'll find out. Exactly. I mean, it's going to be an absolute meltdown on the left. Mark, hello. So, Mehmet Oz narrowed Democrat John Fetterman's lead 48-46. I don't understand how anyone is voting for Fetterman. I don't get it. What is it about the Democratic Party or Fetterman that would make anyone vote? It's just, it has to be just party loyalty because independence can't be, Oz has to be getting more independence. And Oz isn't a fantastic candidate either. But he's better than Fetterman. But see, again, he was up by 12 points or so. So it's only going to get closer and closer and closer. Most of these public relations or public opinion polls, which are really public relation polls, side with, they always favor the Democrat. So you saw that with Clinton and Trump, and you saw that 2 years ago. So it's not like you look, ladies and gentlemen, and it's only a matter of time before all of these polls show that Republicans are tied, or I mean, they're tied. Okay, there's a tie-in. There's a tie in Pennsylvania. Basically, they've been tied, Warnock and Walker. Ron Johnson's been up consistently in Wisconsin. It's been tied, or the Democrats been up, but Ron Johnson is up there. Laxalt is up in like most polls in Nevada. So I don't really see how Democrats can keep the Senate. I don't see how Democrats can keep the Senate, definitely not the House. We have a recession. My God. This is a recession. It's 2 quarters of negative growth. So. I'm running out of steam, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you. I'm lurking. Hello. We'll do a couple more minutes, and then I'm out of here. But I wanted people to he got acquitted. That's okay. That's okay. He got acquitted, yes. Adam, thank you so much. Adam, thank you. You know what? That's a great thought. I haven't been listening since 2015. I can only imagine what HA back then would think of HA. Adam, thank you so very much. That would be an amazing. You know what I would tell my 2015, 2016 self? I would say, every article you write about Bernie Sanders, switch it up and write it about Trump. And they would have published it too. Because back then, the Huffington Post allowed conservatives to publish content. Or they published the content. So editors published everything I wrote in the Huffington Post and Salon and The Hill. I didn't self-publish anything. Because you could have self-published also back then, but I lost that privilege because I wrote an article about the Second Amendment, and so they took away my self-publishing privileges, and every single article about Bernie Sanders went through editors in the Huffington Post, and also in the Hill and Salon as well. Adam, thank you so much. That's a great kind of science fiction type. If I could go back in time when I was writing in the Hill, the Huffington Post, and Salon, I would tell myself, just write about Trump. Write about how good of a president he'll be, because he was a very good president. The people who say that Trump was a horrible president, terrible, he was a maniac, these people are not judging Trump by the way most presidents are judged or evaluated. Presidents are judged and evaluated, and thank you, Adam, for those kind words. Presidents are judged and evaluated based on Excite, hello. They're judged on the economy, and they're judged on foreign policy. So, thank you, Adam. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. Yep. I appreciate that very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I have completely run out of steam. Have a great evening. I'll be back tomorrow. Eric, thank you so much. Everyone, Adam, everyone. Paul Bartlett, thank you. To my super chat, thank you. I will see you tomorrow, everybody. I'll try to do an early live stream as well. So be here like around 1 or 2 or 3 p.m. for the live stream. Stay safe. God bless. Thanks, everybody. And believe me, stay safe. Honestly. Thanks, everybody. Have a great, great evening. I'll see you tomorrow. And subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel and